Hello and welcome to what is normally a Patreon exclusive edition of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Ryan Seymour.
If only you knew how many times I had to do that. Yeah, I could not say it.
How do we do this?
Blah, blah, blah. We are going to spoil Magic Order number 5.
And normally our Patreon, this would be our Patreon exclusive,
Right.
so they would get first crack at watching it, and then it would be released
Like next week.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a special episode.
Yes.
Though, because Magic Order number 5 comes out, and online, various members of the creative team, I think Mark Miller specifically, was like this. He was really, really proud of it. This is what he feels is the best of the issue thus far. And we kind of concur. So we wanted to go through it.
We want to get like into it with y'all. But we wanted to make sure more people got to see it than not.
Yeah. And this is super, 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 super spoily. It will be page by page. So if you do not want to have anything ruined, switch now, go to one of our other shows and watch.
We don't show you the artwork, but we talk about it in such detail. It's real.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we get like into it really fast.
Yeah.
This one is going to be a slow burn because we gotta get you there.
And when something happens, if you don't want it spoiled, you don't want this spoiled, because I stopped. Normally I was going to read about 3 or 4 more books before making my choices, and I was like, yeah, I'll sneak this in and read.
Right.
So I didn't even bother finishing those because I was just so karate chopped in the face when what happens.
You know, it's funny because like a lot of times we don't get a chance to like chat after we read before we start filming. A lot of times we want to
Keep it right here.
like make it real. We couldn't help but talk about this. And literally restructured how we talked about the other show so that we could do this last. Because instinct would say, talk about this. And again, for a show that we're not supposed to spoil, that makes it really hard. So now we finally get to breathe, essentially. Okay, so even in opening this up, we're greeted with an image of Regan and Cordelia. These are 2 characters that are from the Moonstone family. And that is like the prominent family of the Magic Order, which is a bureau, if you will.
Kind of, a group that prevents supernatural and magical threats from hurting common people and the earth as far as we fully know. And so, the Moonstones are there. They're up at the pinnacle of that. Like
their dad is like the head of the Magic Order. And literally, so what this is telling us, like, this is the real world. This is our world, but magic truly does exist, and these people are responsible for keeping the horrible stuff at bay at all times. Like that's their gig. We've been introduced to these 2, and they're fantastic characters. Like we really do like enjoy them in many different ways. Regan is a bitchy queen. Cordelia is
she's the screw up.
Oh god,
but the thing is, she never had a chance. Like when you survive your own attempted abortion, like she was the fetus. You
already know like life's at a slant. Okay, like you weren't wanted. And you had to literally fight for your life and survive. And have constantly tried to show like, hey, I'm worth something. And has always screwed it up. No matter what. Do you have a favorite Cordelia moment?
Possibly the one where she's a kid and like the dive. Or just that's so.
For me, it's definitely when she was a kid and she sneaks into there's a way to travel through time to go to this club that exists in all times. And because it exists in all times, you're not supposed to talk to anybody else that's there because you could inadvertently disrupt the time continuum. She sneaks in there, meets her grandparents, and steals their car.
Which is so amazing.
Absolutely against the rules, but one of the crazies, like, I can't believe you did that. Like, that's my favorite one. Seconded only by her first appearance when she escapes out of a police car. Like literally was sitting in the back seat and telling them that she's gonna get out. And they're like, how? And she's like, look in your rear view. And when he does, she's literally out the car running down the road. Like Cordelia, that's the part that makes me feel so stupid. Like I should have seen the signs. Okay.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there. We're gonna get to this. We start off in New Jersey, right? Obviously it's evil because we're in New Jersey. That's how you know. Okay. Dark skies, Jersey. Boom.
New Jersey's like the Michigan of America.
Ooh. Ooh, don't do that to Jersey.
Sorry, Jersey.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not appropriate. OH. So, so what we have is this brilliant sort of perspective conversation, right? It's a group of people that are talking almost at someone, kind of preaching about their station as these magical gatekeepers to things, you know. And they're contemporary bohemian-esque. I mean, one dude looks like he might be wearing a bowler hat.
Yeah.
Another dude in a hoodie, you know. But they're the epitome of cool, and they're like, hey, listen, here's the thing. Like, Madame Albany is just trying to take over. Like, she's not going to change anything. She just thinks that she should be in charge. Like, if that's the case, you know.
Like, what's the harm?
Right. Like, that's it. You know, nothing really bad is about to happen. And the person that they're speaking to, who is so well, like, the way this is all drawn and the composition of it keeps this person masked the entire time. They're just like, yeah, good. Like, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I need.
Which makes you wonder, like, is there a division where the Moonstones just never interacted, or is there a level where the Moonstones are not like we've looked at them as the heroes, the good people?
Right.
Is the rank and file are just kind of like,
no, they're not. Like, they've looked down on us. They're the elitists that have allowed XYZ to happen. And due to whatever rules they decide that they're going to uphold, they're going to allow these horrible things to stand. Even though, like, we all know that it's wrong. They shouldn't do this. They do. You know, gosh, can you imagine? Okay, the Magic Order is a secret society. Regular humankind does not know they exist. You have suffered and struggled and sacrificed however much. And here's this elitist group that's like, yeah, well, that's your job. What?
Like a little bit of gratitude.
Right.
Like,
like,
you can't get
something.
Yeah, because you're going to go unheralded. Aside from this small group of people,
right,
nobody's ever going to know.
Your position of power is the thing that you're lording over everyone. Art Institute of Chicago. We've got the Moonstones visiting a painting. This is their secret way of traveling to this mystic castle. That's like their safe ground. You know, only the Moonstones can get in and out of this thing. And what we have is we've got Regan, we've got Cordelia, we've got Gabriel, who is the, like, so far he had been the very reluctant brother. You know,
he lost his daughter due to a magic-related incident where he hadn't fully prepared and protected his family, and she got a hold of his wand, and he's kind of hung up his wand since then. And I mean, it makes sense. Like, as
absolutely.
a parent, I'm like, well, crap,
dude. I mean, I think any you know, gun advocate, if they were, you know, yes, I'm all about gun control, or, you know, gun ownership. And their kid found their gun and hurt themselves. I think it could change them. It could absolutely be like, oh no, we need, you know, stricter rules, or, you know, I shouldn't have had this in the house, or whatever. It totally changes things. So in this regard, Gabriel has walked away from his magical life, and has been saying at the behest of his wife. You know, she doesn't want it because she's not a magician. It doesn't seem like she is. She's brought into this.
And it's also partly he's walked away from his family.
Right. Because that's all they are.
Which,
crazy. So good. So still, you know, his wife is putting on and saying, like, you know, can't they do it? Like, we walked away from this. Like, this is not us. And in the previous issue, Gabriel finally was like, look, I've had enough. I'm fighting back. You know, they've already lost their father. Because there's this BAMFer that is like the marquis of bad magic.
The Venetian.
Yeah, that's what he's called. With the doctor's mask, red eyes.
Just cool. Like if I was badass enough, I would wear that outfit, but I can't.
I would do it to the grocery store. Just to mess with people.
And he's brutal.
Oh,
he's an assassin potentially. He's as far as we understand, he's doing the bidding of Madame Albany,
Right.
and killing off members of the Moonstone family and the other members of the Magic Order that oppose Madame Albany's bid to take over.
Right.
And the kills are they're so imaginative and so cool, and begin to take on an even deeper meaning once this issue's.
Yes.
It's
Very
just
deep.
finished,
And we will definitely talk about that. So yeah, he's saying is, look, they can't do this on their own.
Yeah.
The assassin killed Dad.
Yeah.
Dad is at the top.
Yeah.
If he couldn't stop him, these two can't at all.
Yeah.
Like, and what you get basically, and has kind of been alluded to, is that Gabriel is the stronger of the three.
Yeah.
But with him having stepped down, essentially, like,
Maybe he's rusty.
Right.
Maybe like we don't know how magic fully works.
is it muscle? And if you don't use it for a while, then you kind of lose a bit of it. In the previous issue, he shows that he still got some stuff. He's still got some things, and him siding over here.
Yeah.
This is almost a win in the bag.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a matter of time.
And that's what I 100% thought was, all right, this is going to be that heroic moment where the crew goes in and then just like Raffle stomps
Right.
everybody.
It's just real. Like, this is slowly, but it's the Untouchables when all of a sudden they just start shutting every operation that Al Capone has down. Right. Boom, 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 and all of a sudden Al is all by himself.
Yeah.
That's what I expect.
Yeah.
It's what we get for expecting things.
Yes.
So they enter the castle, and their uncle, who so this was me admitting my fault here.
Yeah.
Their uncle has something happening where he can't leave.
Yeah.
It's alluded to throughout the entire series. No one has actually said what happened.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't leave. I would help you, but ... It was literally my theory that the uncle was the Venetian.
Yeah.
That in some way, shape, or form, and Mark is really good for creating these very twisted stories where you see the trope, like it's right there in your face, and then he does this twist, and you're like, I
Did not see that.
I didn't see that one. So the notion of the uncle sitting there the whole time saying, hey, I would help you guys, but I can't leave.
Yeah.
If he was the Venetian the entire time, and that was why he couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Like, not like, oh, ha ha ha, he's the secret bad guy.
Yeah.
No, him leaving is what turns him into the Venetian.
Yeah.
Them putting him in here keeps him from being the Venetian, and that's why he can't leave. That was the move that I thought they were going to make.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen through the veil. I've penetrated the mask of all things. I understand Mark Miller.
Wah, wah, wah. It was a good idea.
Still but a student. Mark doesn't even have a pebble in his hand. I'm sitting there trying to touch it. I'm just ain't a rock in his hand. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, almost. I'm going to get it.
Like,
Not
just
a rock.
stop. I'm trying to pick up my beer.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna make me spill my drink, and I'm gonna fight you. That's where I was. Yeah, I tell you, nothing puts you in your place as a writer than thinking that and discovering you have no idea. It's a warm feeling, honestly. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I still have so much to learn. Yay. All right, so she steps in, Louise, and she's like, oh, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And this place, I mean, the physics of it all.
Yeah, it's this completely different reality with a different set of physics, and it's got to be completely off-putting for somebody who's a Muggle,
Right.
Where you're not used to the magical.
This ain't your world.
Yeah,
Not really, not anymore, at the very least.
was it ever though?
Well, I mean,
Like she's exposed to it, but
yeah, I was gonna say she married in, so she had to know something.
Yeah.
But this was not really her world.
Yeah.
So that's real. So yeah, she's like, look, I don't know if I want to stay here. This is weird.
Yeah.
And Gabriel's like, look, this is the only place that is truly safe. Like, Madame Albany's side cannot get in here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a Moonstone only
yeah,
resort.
and it's
Trust,
this
it's
tender,
fine.
touching moment because she's understanding that he's sacrificing his principles to save everything.
Yes. So
Yeah.
good.
Ugh.
All right, so we go back, and it's basically a flop of that image that's on the front inside cover, and it's Cordelia changing clothes, and she's talking to Regan, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I'm texting my boyfriend, telling him that I love him.
Yeah.
Not to be all, grim, but
That might be the last time.
this might be it. Like, literally, I recognize the reality of the situation. Mind you, Regan has low-key been the badass of the group
Yeah.
so far. because he's like, let's go kick in their heads.
Yeah.
I want to go punch someone in the brains.
Yep.
That's been him.
Badass. And
all the time.
now he's like, I just want to say I love you one more time.
Yeah, let me be honest here.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, listen, you might want to do the same thing. And she's like, yeah, the only people that love me are in this room, her included, like herself included.
Which is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And like this entire conversation is everything is stripped away. All the pretense, all the bravado, and it's just this raw family, and just like they know they're at their end,
Right.
Potentially, and the honesty that, like, because even Regan's like, I always believed in you.
Yeah.
Like you could have been so
You could have
much.
been amazing. She's like, look, I let everybody down.
Yeah.
Everybody that counts on me, I let down. He's like, but I'm serious. She's like, me too. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a joke. I'm not saying that just to be self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Like, this is real.
Yeah.
I am that person that doesn't.
Yeah, I'm the screw up. Like I'm the person that gets kicked out of a kid's birthday party for being drunk
Right.
and doing magic, like actual magic. So-
Exactly, which
yeah.
I'm not supposed to do, but I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got arrested at a kid's birthday party, not just for being drunk. There's other things.
Yeah, there's other.
Activities.
Yeah.
You might approve, you might not. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me.
Mhm.
All right, so their moment is interrupted when Gabriel comes in and is like, hey, let's go do this.
Yeah, I want to get this over with.
Yeah. Whoa.
So, because at this point, it's still like, okay, he knows the line has been drawn. He's going to do this to save his family. Let's
Let's just end this
there's
right
no
now.
sense in waiting. Let's
Let's go hit them, because they don't even know.
Right.
They don't even know what we're about to do to them.
right.
So here's the situation. They know what they want to do. They know who they're after.
Mhm.
They don't know where Madame Albany is.
Yeah.
And so they're like, this is what we're going to do. She's got a henchman.
Mhm.
We're going to go get it from him.
Yeah,
And they're
he's
like-
the only one that knows,
What? There's no way this dude's going to tell.
and he eventually does. And this is
Here's why.
Yeah, it's so amazing. So they're standing on this road, deserted 2-lane country back roads, highway or whatever, and this car is coming at them. One of the things I love too is the how Regan and Cordelia and Gabriel all got changed into their outfits for this battle,
Right.
and like
It's their personalities, 100%.
yeah, it's just in clothing form.
Yeah.
No super suits or anything.
No,
It's
no,
just
no. This is them. This is who they are. Regan is well-to-do. He's dressed up well. He's got the tie and the sweater. Cordelia is the girl at the club that you're like, "What's up?" And she might be like, "What's up?" back, and you already know.
Yeah.
And Gabriel's just that guy.
Yeah.
Like he's just that dude.
unassuming.
Yeah, completely. Gabriel makes the first move.
Yeah.
And literally cartwheels this man's car.
Yeah, and the size of his brother and sister's eyes as this is happening, because the car goes over him, and it's almost like they were not expecting the level of I don't even know the chutzpah or whatever.
Ferocity.
Yeah,
I mean, because like he totals this man's car.
yeah,
Like,
it's a flick of his wand.
yeah, like it's just like a meh. And
Yeah.
like Michael Bay shot this sequence
Yeah.
right here. Like that's what this is. Then all of a sudden, everything is pristine,
Yeah.
calm, clear. That was just to get his attention.
Yeah,
And now they are in the car with him
60 seconds before.
as he's driving.
Yeah, because this guy.
60 seconds before. That's
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah,
Let that percolate in your brain pan. Like literally, he just killed this dude and then undid it
yeah,
within 60 seconds.
yeah.
Whoop, whoop. There it is.
Yeah, and so wow, that's such a threat. Like, I don't have to do this. You can still die.
Right.
I just want you to tell me this one little itsy bitsy teeny weeny bit
Tell
of
me this
information.
thing and you don't have to. You don't have to die.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where Mark does something I don't even know what to call this.
Yeah. I want to see how this plays out in like the movie or the television or however it's going to be presented live action. So Gabriel asks for Regan to hit him with the book, and it means, or throw the book at him, means something very, very literal.
Right.
He hits him with a copy of Robinson Crusoe, and what ends up happening is all of them are thrown into the story world of Robinson Crusoe, and the driver himself is emaciated.
Wait. Here, this is where he breaks it down for him.
Yeah.
This is what he just did to him. We're on page 41 of Robinson
Yeah.
Crusoe from the castle's magic library, the day before he washes up. There's not a lot to eat when you don't know how to hunt. I wonder how you'll look by page 214.
Yeah.
Like
And then
they just dropped him in the book.
Yeah.
Like he's got to live this book.
Yeah. And then a few hundred pages later, he's looking grim, like Tom Hanks.
Like, whoa,
Yeah.
never found Wilson.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna work well. This is bad, right? So yeah, he's like, give me one drink of water and I'll
Yeah.
tell you the address. Like, they have tortured this
Yeah.
man.
This dude's emaciated.
15
Yeah.
years he's been on this island,
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
In a matter of just moments for them.
Yeah.
Because they're just all sitting there like, were you gonna show us?
Yeah, that's what's the address.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So he tells them.
Yeah.
And it's like, please, I need medical attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a doctor? I know the doctor to send you to.
This is so. The Island of Dr. Moreau. They hit him with that book, and he's on an operating table being held down by, I don't even know stuff
things,
like
nightmares.
Yeah, like stuff that Pinhead would be like, whoa, dude, that's horrible.
Hey, can you? There's kids watching. Like, please don't do that.
And-
Dr. Moreau opens him up. He goes full Dr. Moreau on him.
Yeah,
And dude is not under any anesthesia. He's not knocked out. He's fully conscious. And he gave him what they wanted.
yeah,
Like, that's the part where I'm like, dude, you could have left him on the island. Like,
yeah,
that would have been better.
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Because from his perspective, he has spent 15 years suffering, and now maybe it's going to end. I don't. But like, what happens when the book is over?
I don't know. Hopefully he makes it out. I feel bad.
Damn, Gabriel. And this is like, this is what I'm like, with Gabriel on board, Madame Almedy's screwed.
Yeah.
There's going to be righteous.
Absolutely signed on for this. Like, you're just like, oh, my question now is just, what is he going to do to her?
Right.
Because you figure his righteous ire over all the Magic Order guys that have died, including his father.
Yeah.
He is about to open up all the cans
Yeah.
on her. Like, kegs of cans of whoop ass is just about to be popped open, tapped, and everybody's drinking. Everybody.
And we're almost there. 'Cause
So, yeah.
they're now outside of the Charles Lawton Theater, which is where Madame Albany is holed up.
Yes.
And this is so amazing. All right, the way to get in, much like at the Art Institute in Chicago, the only way they can get into the painting is through a certain set of things. With this, it appears as a theater unless you are willing to give up your most painful memory. And this is one of those moments where it's actually hysterical when you look at all three of their memories. Because you've got Cordelia, when Dad sat me down and told me Mom was leaving. Clearly with Gabriel, it's burying my little daughter. And with Reagan, though, my most painful memory was getting caught indulging myself to an episode of Saved by the Bell. And I don't want to say who it was that I was indulging myself to, and Mom didn't ask. Well, I kind of want to know. Like, when you're creating the character Gabriel, which, like, was it,
Who was it?
yeah, was it Zach? Was it AC?
Right.
Jeremy thought it was the principal.
Yeah, he thought it was Mr. Belding.
Screech.
Was it? Oh God, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Or is it a total departure from who he is, and it was a lady? It was
Interesting.
Kelly Kapowski. Like, and then like because Regan is openly gay, has not, made any effort to hide it.
Yeah.
Very regal in his presentation.
But he won't speak about.
He won't speak about this, and maybe it was because it was to a woman.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what this could be for him? Like,
because it's somewhere in between comedy
right.
and like a real moment of like,
This is me being vulnerable.
Yeah.
This is absolutely me being vulnerable. Now, what's funny is, of course, like, Regan goes first, right? So he gets that out of the way, and it's this ha ha ha, and then it gets darker and darker as it's said. And
all three get in.
All three get in. But what's great is this moment here, after Gabriel says his, Regan and Cordelia look at each other like,
we got nothing.
Right. We're not as dark as him.
Yeah.
They are outside of this castle, straight out of a Stephen King novel.
It's beautiful.
The shadows are not normal shadows. Okay, like they
Yeah.
stretch and twist in dark, beautiful ways.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I wonder if that was something Olivier came up with,
oh,
because they're
it's creeptastic, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I need a Miller World like script book. I need that. I
Yeah.
want to see what the foundation is that the art is built off of.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about
like
that.
who throws what idea at who,
Right.
how's the back and forth go.
And maybe this, I mean, literally it could be like the building blocks and there's a lot of phone call
Mm-hmm.
conversations or emails, which is fine. But I want to see how you build this sort of narrative in script form,
Yeah.
because clearly I got so much to learn, man. It's not even funny.
'Cause it's like a scene out of a horror movie.
It's so good and
but
dark.
beautiful at the same time.
Truth. All right, so we're back in the Moonstone, quarters, and the uncle is talking to Louise and is like, "Hey, listen, it's fine to be scared.
Yeah.
I would be terrified. Here's some tea to kind of calm you down. Like this is kind of over the top. Like this is so nutty.
He's like this real calming influence,
Right.
because she knows her husband is now going to fight and possibly die, and if he doesn't succeed, she will probably die.
Right.
And the ramifications are so huge.
It's terrifying. And in this one, you see how intertwined Louise ever was. You know, when she married in, she was going to work in the library in this place and help Edith, organize stuff. She's the one that got drowned in the cab.
Which was
That cover too, man.
Yeah.
That was such a good cover.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
'cause I thought it was gonna be something like fun.
Right. And not so much.
No, not as much.
And she's just kind of quietly taking it in.
Yeah.
It's very serene, very calm.
Yeah.
A brightness in the color scheme compared to the super dark hues of where Regan and the others are.
Yeah.
All right. So they are. This is so creeptastic.
Yeah.
They're like, Madame Albany is watching a movie.
Yeah.
And there's no one else here.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's make the move right now.
Because it's such a they're walking down the steps into darkness that's only lit by static coming off of like an old school tube TV, and the staircase and the railing has like a real gothic sort of old school vibe to it. But then everything else that you can see, which isn't much,
Right.
is like this weird postmodern like industrial setup.
Just like she's just laying on stuff that's
Yeah.
like piled together.
Yeah. And,
Super creep.
and she's ignoring them maybe because
Right.
she's like, there's nobody else here. If we want to make our move,
Let's go.
let's do this.
What's crazy is like Regan makes the first jump.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, we've got you surrounded. It's 3-1. There's no help for you. Give up right now. And she's just like, shh, I'm watching a movie. Mind you, the screen is static.
Yeah, just static.
Like that's it. And she's going in this movie called Stalag 17, right? Stalag, is that how you say that?
believe so.
Have you seen this movie? Is this a real movie?
I believe so.
I gotta watch this movie because this is crazy.
'Cause,
So it says it's a Billy Wilder from his golden era. American soldiers in a German internment camp, and one of the group is working for the Nazis. Already, I'm like,
no,
wait,
no.
why?
No.
Why are you saying this?
No.
The men think
No.
it's William Holden, but the traitor turns out to be the lovely Sergeant Price. That seems like an appropriate moment to pause.
And she hits pause, and there's still just nothing but static.
Just static. So I'm sitting there like, okay,
I didn't want to turn the page.
this right here is clearly some foreshadowing, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, because like I said, going in, I'm like, oh my God, it's the uncle.
Mhm.
So reading this, I'm like, wait, I didn't think anybody was a traitor. I mean, I guess if you could pull a card, it would be Cordelia because she's the lovable loser and she's the one that's always like, I let everybody down. And
This would be the moment that she would let everybody down.
right, like,
I didn't want to turn the page. Because I didn't want
turn
it to
the
be
page.
Cordelia.
yeah, turn the page.
Lovely, lovely Cordelia. And then we're back to, and this is another one of those moments where it's just like flexing.
Yeah,
Because instead of the page turn reveal being that very first page,
yeah.
you
You just go.
yeah.
So and then you got to get there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you see it and you got to rewind back. It's almost like I don't even know what to call that. It's like you see a moment and all of a sudden it's like, and then you got to see how it gets there in real time. And that's another level.
Yeah.
So Louise is walking around like kind of reminiscing and is like, it's good to be back here. It's hard to be locked out of your childhood home.
Yeah.
And Edgar's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
he's very, very confused. And
yeah, like I don't understand.
So brutal.
Regan, of course, full bravado. He's nothing but fire.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, stand up, fight, surrender, something, but acknowledge us, okay? Like, you've got your back to us. High disrespect.
Yeah, because she's just still sitting there in front of this TV. Oh, and she doesn't even pay the courtesy of fully standing up. It's just her head turns a little bit, and she says, "Your brother's machismo is giving me a real headache, Gabriel.
Would you do something about it, please?" He
And it
says,
yeah, no problem. And it cuts over Regan from the profile, mouth breathing, and Gabriel standing there, wand pointed at the side of Reagan's head, and then
point blank, dude.
blows his head up.
I mean, full on scanners.
Yeah.
Boom. Cordelia can do nothing but scream.
Yeah.
Like, scream his name. What can you do?
Right. You don't see this coming.
At all. At all. We turn the page. We're back in Jersey.
Yeah.
We got that group, and one of the guys is like, it's almost 11, Louise, just another hour and it'll all be over.
Yeah.
And you realize that the person that they were talking to was Louise.
Yeah.
Louise is not at the Moonstone Manor.
Yeah.
That is not who that is.
Someone else is in there. Yeah. That's all right. And then we cut back because once Edgar doesn't get to find out the easy way what she meant, but so like, and that's kind of when Madame Albany kind of is doing the monologue and thing, the evil monologue.
Yeah.
And
But she does it so smartly.
yeah, like you find out that Gabriel has been the Venetian the entire time.
The entire time.
And like his motivations.
Wait, we're not even there yet.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Because that's so. Like,
Yeah, because that's huge. But she even said, she's like, who else had that kind of power,
right,
to take out senior wizards? And
it's always been Gabriel.
It's always been him.
Yeah.
Like, every time somebody died. Your father, yeah, it was Gabriel. Like,
which they kill. Like,
yeah.
The level of violence and anger and just you were wanting to torture him.
Brutal. Albany makes the claim. He's like, look, Louise is actually at a diner waiting for Gabriel to come back.
Yeah.
And Cordelia's like, no, she's at the Moonstone Castle with Uncle Edgar. Yeah. Like, that's where we're hiding her. And so Madame Albany's like, really?
Yeah.
Is that, you sure?
Yeah.
And that's when we see it. That instead of it being Louise, it is Madame Albany's shapeshifter. Who in previous issues takes on some very colorful roles for Madame Albany.
Yeah. He's
that's
willing
all
to.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So now that Lord Cornwall's in the house, I'll have the oraculum. He's going to bring it here, and that's when all the fun begins.
Yeah.
The whole goal was to get this book
Yeah.
that Madame Albany's father was in control of and purposefully didn't leave it to her when he died. He didn't will it to her because he figured that she was a terrible person and would do things wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and really all she's trying to do in her mind is win control of the magic order so she can show him that she's not a screw up.
Yeah.
And that's why things won't change.
Yeah.
Because she's not trying to disrupt things. She's trying to show like, hey, I was good enough.
Yeah.
I could have done this.
And
what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's what I got. Because then we turn the page because now Cordelia's like, Gabriel, what are you doing? What is going on?
What is this? He says it was all a charade. To fool you, everybody, I released the horror goblin, the attack on the house. Here's the deal. Albany's bringing my daughter back.
Yeah.
And
as a father, this is the moment where I'm like, I can't hate on him, but I don't understand why he would go after his family with such
like animosity.
Yeah.
total ire. He says something Dad wouldn't do in a million years.
And that next panel with his father's corpse in it and all the blood, I'm like, dang.
He said, I just had to give her you guys. And
It's
Cordelia, and this is the moment right here. This is where it gets real.
Yep.
She says, so you murdered your own family?
Yep.
And he says, you never had a child. You wouldn't understand. It was my fault. My little girl died. And I just couldn't live with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's
you have access to people who have the power
right.
to bring back, and it's not like it was the Moonstone granddaughter,
Right.
niece.
That's the
Yeah.
part that makes it so traumatic, because it's not an outside thing. Okay, so in Aladdin,
Mhm.
right? Genie specifically tells Aladdin, I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture and I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
So when he says can't, wrong word.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to. He's
Yeah.
done it before and it doesn't work well.
Yeah.
But it's more in the lines of people that he's not associated with and therefore he has no tie to.
Yeah.
This was literally Head Moonstone's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And Gabe is saying, he's like, Dad wouldn't have done this ever.
Yeah.
Knowing how much it would mean to me,
Yeah.
how much it should mean to him,
Yeah.
he wouldn't do this.
The thing is, where does the bloodline go after? Like, if
It stops.
yeah,
Cordelia doesn't have any kids.
Yep.
Regan doesn't have any kids.
Yep.
It was literally all up to Gabriel.
Yeah.
So the notion that, for all intents and
Yep.
purposes, he would have let the line die.
yeah,
What am I saving? Like, what am I truly
Yeah.
sacrificing in that regard? Oh my God, that's deep.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. There's so many levels to it, and it's like this is the moment where I can't look at Gabriel as just the bad guy. He's not. He's doing what is in his power to help those that he loves,
Right.
and he honestly views these other people as turning their back on him.
they did.
And-
I mean, can you argue that they didn't?
No,
Like, and that's the thing. Okay, so through this is we're not even done yet.
Yeah.
But through this book, through this series,
Mhm.
as these attacks are happening, they're trying to woo Gabriel back to their
Yeah.
fold. You know how powerful he is. You know how much you needed him.
Yeah.
Yet you wouldn't condone this thing? Like,
yeah,
what is that statement that you're ultimately making?
he's just a tool. Like,
That's it. And if that's the case, no.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm just a weapon, I could just as easily be pointed at you
yeah,
than by it.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
given the right cause,
Yeah.
you get where he's coming from
Yeah.
here. This is the part that makes it so bad.
Yeah.
Madame Albany is like, look, I don't want to rule the world. I just want to right a wrong.
Yeah.
I just want to give this guy something that he wants.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Cordelia tries. Oh, she tries so hard. She's manipulating you.
Yeah.
She's using you. She's using your grief.
And then Gabriel just breaks it down. Actually, I was the one that went to her.
What do you say to that?
Right? You have, once again, the Moonstone family has the ability to do this, and they didn't go to him and like, Gabriel, man, I know we're not supposed to do this. Like that's Albany had nothing to do with this.
No, this was literally him. He was like, look, if you do this for me, this is what I'll give you.
Yeah.
She has no loss factor whatsoever here. And that's what makes it so great. In the first issue, you've got at a funeral, Regan specifically is like, look, we know who did this.
Yeah.
We know who's doing this. We should just go after her. He was wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I mean, yes, she had a part, but she was not the hand that pushed it forward.
Yeah.
Cordelia, of course, is ready to make one last stand. She's like, look, it's 2 against 1. You guys are really powerful, but I've been doing this forever. Don't sleep on me.
Yeah.
And that's when the other ball drops, and you realize that, no,
Nope.
the room has been filled with other magic users
Yeah.
the entire time, all in Albany's camp.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 more people that, once again, if the Moonstones were liked by everybody, where did these 7 fools come from?
Like, wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. Albany says, you get the distinct pleasure of being the sacrifice
Right?
that brings your daughter or your niece back. So there has to be a swap.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Again, maybe it has to be a blood relative,
Maybe.
and that's the that's the issue right there.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the thing. If it had to be a blood relative, even if it had to be someone similar,
Yeah.
the notion was that his dad wouldn't sacrifice Cordelia in order to bring back his granddaughter, despite the fact that Cordelia has been the family screw up,
Yeah.
the black sheep of the family
Yeah.
since
And survived her own abortion.
literally.
Yeah.
How interesting is that?
Yeah.
Does that automatically make the dad not so bad?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's so many questions.
So many freaking layers. Layers. Gabriel looks at her and says, "I really am genuinely sorry."
And
sister.
I kind of believe him. And we can't use this particular word.
No. But it ends with an expletive that you fully understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a tough road right here.
Damn.
I cannot believe that there's only one issue left.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah. And the thing is, it makes you want to go back and look at all of the different previous issues, because every single kill the Venetian did, there was meaning behind it, not just some dude who has power being a jackass and I can toy with you. Like, no, there was a particular reason, a particular feeling, a particular thought process that was specific to Gabriel and his relation
to everybody.
Yeah.
That was in there. The thing that got me is, like, once you get this and you understand that his motivation is bringing back his daughter.
Yeah.
The first kill that we see, he uses a child to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You talk about twisted by grief. Like, this guy is so far gone. He has literally like murdered another child's soul in order to earn back his own daughter's.
Yeah.
Because that kid's got to know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be, you did this.
Yeah. That's gonna
right?
be with the kid for a while.
Like, forever and ever. Like, the Magic Order is, again, part of the next Netflix deal with Miller World. So it is going to get a transmedia representation. We don't know if it's a show or a movie. Either way, I'm on board.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm on board.
And this is just, it makes me stutter. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
So what I really recommend, and it's different in the sense that there are no second prints. There is not for Prodigy. There's not for Magic Order. So I recommend hitting up all of your local shops. Get if you haven't read it, it is absolutely amazing. Get the first 5 issues. Number 6 comes out in about a month. And if you can't source it locally, go online. This is highest recommendation. And it's not often that I read a book and it stops me, and I just sit there mouth breathing as I fully take in the magnitude of what plot twist has just happened. And this book did that to me. I didn't finish, like, I mean, I'll read the other stuff tomorrow, but
you got to take a break. Like,
yeah,
you got to come back to it.
Yeah, like,
dude, this one. Yeah, I've been sitting on this for a little while. I'd read a preview copy, and
see, normally I'm like, oh man, I wish I got the preview copies, but I'm so glad I did,
dude.
Because how do you sit? Like, how do you?
It was hard. Okay, it was struggles. I've been drinking. It was rough, man. Because, like I said, it was one thing for me to be wrong on my prediction. It's another thing for it to be this, and this takes you to a very emotional place.
Yeah,
like you are. I literally. My mistake. I stayed up late last night and watched The Time to Kill. So I'm fully in his space. Yeah. Like, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn to hell. Like, that's where I'm at right now. And where he is, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get this. I would tear the world apart. The world can burn so long as I get my little girl back.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know, as a father, 100%. I get it. Anybody that stands in my way, you've got to go.
Yeah.
One way or the other. I mean, that's been real. We've seen Batman do it, you know? He went to Apocalypse and back to get his son. We get it.
Yeah.
If you're a parent, man, there is nothing. You would move this earth if you could.
Yeah.
Facts. Just, that's what it is. So.
When you come from a family of wizards.
That can. Listen. I'm waiting for Harry Potter to show up in the next issue and be like, hey, can you not?
Yeah, go away.
Go away. You're not ready. Muggle sauce. Put you on a bagel. Dude, the other thing that's got me on this one, this is the part that, like, I'm really geeking about. All right, so that's the twist on this one.
Yeah.
Has there been a Mark Miller World book that has gone to the movies and been exactly like the book? It's always a change.
Yeah. What's the
what are
change?
they going to change?
Yeah.
Because you got to make it a new experience.
Yeah. Because
that's going to be
Yeah.
nuts. Does that mean that he wrote it twice? Like he's got a whole
is
nother
there a
version of
second,
this?
like apocrypha version of the Magic Order?
We're not asking for it, but if our emails just happen to
Just,
bling
I would read it.
a lot.
I wouldn't.
Quietly.
I wouldn't share it with anybody
No.
but Vic.
No.
Mhm.
We wouldn't even share it with each other. We would just sit there and
Like
read it
secretly.
next to each other.
Or like we secretly don't know the other has it.
They were just like,
Can't talk about it.
can't talk about this thing. Like, what thing? Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not a thing.
Nothing at all.
Not one bit. Yeah. Go buy it.
Yeah. Bottom line. Go buy it. Go buy the others. Literally, issue 1,
Mhm.
the highest selling book, I think in like 20 years.
Believable.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
believable.
So, issue 1, there are copies out there. Catch those other ones.
As Jeremy's
Catch
pointing
those
to,
other ones, man.
pointing to ones we have on the wall.
Magic Order number 5.
Yep. And
So good.
If you like this kind of review, join our Patreon because this is what we do
Yes.
each week.
Yes, we gets into it. We talks about it. So thank you guys so very much for watching. We love you dearly. And check us out on the other show. We're on the road to 250 episodes and very close to closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So maybe that will be you.
Yeah. Just click subscribe. You
And
can
the
be
bell. Do it.